Good day children. Today in this video you will learn main clause, subordinate clause and complex and compound sentences. A main clause or an independent clause expresses a complete truth that makes complete sense by itself. It makes sense by itself and it is independent clause. Example, there were few people on the road. Yes, it is a complete sentence, right? The children are laughing. Okay, these are the examples of main clause, which is independent clause. It is not dependent on anything. A subordinate clause or dependent clause, which is dependent on the main clause, cannot stand on its own. It cannot stand on its own, which is incomplete. Example, so this is the sentence. There were few people on the road, though it was barely 10 o'clock at night. Okay, now leave the first sentence, that is, there were few people on the road. Just leave it and read this line. Though it was barely 10 o'clock at night. So what is this? This is incomplete sentence without the first sentence. Yes, first sentence is the main clause. There were few people on the road. If you keep a full stop there, it is a full sentence, a complete sentence, which is independent clause. But if you add comma and write this, though it was barely 10 o'clock at night. So, though it was barely 10 o'clock at night is a incomplete sentence which is dependent on the first one. Okay, next example. After we returned from the movie. What happened after we returned from the movie? So if I keep a full stop there, then that is wrong. It is not completed. Yes? So if I put a comma, then I'll write a main clause there, then that is a full sentence. So after we returned from the movie is dependent clause. We returned from the movie. Now we'll take off after. We'll take it off. Now I've given you the sentence. We returned from the movie. So this is a independent clause, a complete sentence. So now what is subordinate conjunction? Subordinate clause. Now subordinate clause has condition. What condition is that? That it should start with subordinate conjunction. Example, whatever, that, while, etc. Now, let us see the sentences with one or more clauses. Example, the children are playing. Seema saw a movie yesterday. These sentences have a single clause with only one finite verb each. The children are playing. Playing is a verb. Seema saw a movie yesterday. Saw is again a verb. These are simple sentences which is having only one clause in it. Meena came late, but she was allowed to enter the theatre. You have to eat on time or you will be sick. These sentences have more than one main clause. Yes? So, in the first sentence you can see both are main clause. Yes? Listen. Meena came late. If I keep a full stop, that is a complete sentence. The next one, after but. She was allowed to enter the theatre. If there is a full stop in that, then that is again a main sentence, which is independent sentence. Now, how can you just combine these two sentences? What thing you will use to combine these sentences? The two clauses are joined using coordinating conjunctions. So, these two main clauses are joined using coordinating conjunctions like and, but, or, yet, and so on. You have to eat on time, or you will be sick. So these two main clauses are combined using which is joined using coordinating conjunction. Such sentences are compound sentences. Yes? Sam had left before they reached the park. I could not go because I am unwell. She opened the door when the bell rang. So from these sentences you can see that there is a main clause and a dependent clause which is dependent on the main clause. So what is that called? Subordinate clause. These sentences have a main clause and a subordinate clause. These are joined using subordinating conjunctions like after, although, as, because, before, even though, if, since, that, although, until, when, where, whether, which, while, and so on. Such sentences are called complex sentences. So before we saw compound sentences. Yes, and the conjunction which is used is coordinating conjunctions, where there are two main clauses which are joined using coordinating conjunctions. But here there is one main clause and one subordinate clause which is joined using subordinating conjunctions. So coming to noun clause. Noun clause is just like a noun which serves the purpose. Now what is a clause? Clause which has subject and verb, but the sentence is not completed. Likewise, noun clause which is interrelated with subordinating conjunction and subordinate clause. These are interrelated with noun clause. All these three are interrelated. Yes. Whatever Sarah draws is of perfection. Now, whatever is subordinating conjunction. You know that. Sarah is the subject. Draws is the verb. Whatever you want is fine with me. Now, the whole clause acting as the subject. Whatever you want is a noun clause because it has a subject, you, and a verb, want. It is also a subordinate clause because it does not express a complete thought. Whatever happens in Chennai is surprising element. Now again, whatever is subordinating conjunction. Happens is verb. Chennai is subject. We agreed that we could meet here exactly 20 years from that date. Yes, the clause that we could meet here exactly 20 years from that date is a dependent clause. The clause which is dependent, that acts as a noun. Here this acts as a noun. So, it is a noun clause. Noun clause usually begin with words like that, what, when, where, how, whether, who, whom, why, and so on. Vocabulary. Homonyms. What is homonyms? Certain words have the same spelling and or pronunciation but different meanings. That is, for example, the policeman on the beat twirled his club. Here, the policeman on the beat refers to the policeman is on the duty. Please do not beat the table repeatedly. This beat refers to the sound. Do not make a repeated irritating sound on the table. Yes? So these are known as homonyms. Examples of homonyms. I left my phone. The left side of the road. The crane flew above the building. The crane is used at the construction. So in the first sentence, I left my phone. Here the left is to leave. The left side of the road. Here this left is which is related to the the site of a human body. The crane flew above the building. Here the crane is a bird. The crane is used at the construction. Here the crane is the machine which is used at the construction site. Yes.